Hey, this is Daryl Henry with Insurance for Entrepreneurs. And in this video, I'm going to answer the question, why is sexual abuse coverage more expensive in 2025? And to answer this question, I've got to dig into the three legal trends that are really impacting the coverage and how much is available for our customers in 2025. So let me go back to the beginning. I read the Xywave market report for 2025, and there were a couple of legal trends that I've been watching for the last couple of years. Last year in 2024, it didn't come to fruition, it didn't impact people as much. But really in 2025, I'm starting to see a lot of changes take place where companies are limiting the amount of sexual abuse coverage that they are willing to offer. It's getting harder and harder. Really, what it comes down to is three legal trends. The first legal trend is nuclear lawsuits. Nuclear lawsuits are an insurance term. Coined by the insurance industry. They had to give this a word so that they would know how to describe it. They are lawsuits that are either $10 million or more or cost a lot more than the insurance industry expected it to cost. And so one of the things that I did in preparation for this video is I went and I researched what are the largest lawsuits in America? What are the lawsuits that resulted in nuclear lawsuits? Sexual abuse is one of the leading drivers. So is lack of care, and so are vehicle accidents. And what happens when insurance companies build their models is they're trying to predict the future based on what happened in the past. And if the past is not a good indicator of what's going to happen in the future, so for example, if they get an abuse case that in the past cost $75,000 to settle, and instead it cost $4 million to settle, they look at their models and say, well, that didn't work and we lost a lot of money. So companies respond in one of a couple of ways. One, they'll either raise the prices and charge a lot more. Two, they'll be very restrictive about when they offer it because they don't want to lose their shirt on the coverage. And three, they'll just not offer it at all. They will lower the amount of coverage that they're willing to offer because they look at the coverage line and say, we don't know how to prudently invest money into this space if we think we might lose a ton of money. If insurance companies don't feel like they know how to predict the future, they're not going to put money on the line and make a bet because that's what they do. They make educated bets. So we talked about nuclear lawsuits. A second trend that's impacting it is third-party litigation funding. And in essence, these are companies that are investing in lawsuits. So what it looks like is somebody has a lawsuit, and that individual maybe doesn't have enough money to hire an attorney on their own. A company will come in and say, don't worry about the money. We got you. We'll give you the money for the attorney. All you have to do is give us a split. And so the result of this is that there are more lawsuits coming forward than there were before. And the second thing that's happening is those companies are less inclined to settle than individuals. They've got deeper pockets. They can fight more. They know where to put the cases. They know where to file suits so that they get a good investment on their return. I'm not going to make any commentary on whether that's good or bad. If there are individuals that were hurt and there are companies that are helping them get justice, okay, so be it. But it does impact what is available in the insurance marketplace. And the third trend is what are called judicial hellholes. Once again, this is an insurance term. My personal injury attorney friends that I don't have are not going to like this term. But what it refers to is that there are certain courts in America that are really prone to unfavorable judgments towards the insurance industry. They don't like big companies. They don't like insurance companies. They are individuals that are very inclined to think that if there's a court case being brought, that the people that are being sued, they did something wrong and they should be punished. So once again, this ties back to nuclear lawsuits, and you can kind of see where these happen. They happen in pockets, right? They happen in Texas and California, in Atlanta, Georgia. In the attorneys, once again, we talked about third-party litigation funding. Those attorneys know where those jurisdictions are. They know where the unfriendly jurisdictions are towards insurance companies that are going to be more likely to explode into a nuclear lawsuit. And so what has happened, you take all these trends and you look nationwide, and we know that there are attorneys targeting large lawsuits in court systems that are unfriendly towards insurance companies, and there's deep pockets that are fighting these cases, and they are resulting in very large lawsuits. Insurance or companies are looking at it saying, we have to stem our losses. And so what that results in is higher premiums for sexual abuse coverage. It results in lower limits being available and more restrictions on what it's going to take in order to get that coverage. All right, I hope that helps. There are ways that you can get around that you can negotiate with your underwriters, but that's a video for another time. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. It helps other people like you find the content. You can find the original blog post at my website at insuranceforentrepreneurs.net. I'll put the link in the description of the video. And I appreciate you so much for watching. Go build something great.